Joe Budden sat down on this podcast to talk about the most recent viral video of Corey Holcomb talking about Will Smith and his sexuality. Now, even though that interview with him and Cam Newton was months ago, this video clip has been going viral of Corey speaking on Will Smith.
Now, there are celebrities who have accepted the poly and non-monogamous relationships. Some we know, Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. It's like everybody know anyway. Everybody know anyway. So I'm saying, like, do you think me saying Will like guys? Because I said it and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. I know it for the most part.
Okay.
By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody. But I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah. And it's like, people like me suffer from this lifestyle because of the shame that some guys have of how they like to move. And I don't think that however you move is something you should hold against me.
Now, for the record, Will Smith has never come out in public to say that he is, in fact, gay or bisexual, but it has been a lot of rumors surrounding his name for years in Hollywood. Corey has been one of the people that has been very vocal about certain people's sexuality in the game, and of course, he wasn't going to shy away on a big platform such as Cam Newton's podcast. Now, Joe Budden caught wind of these comments, and he decided to go on his podcast and debate this with his crew. Now, Joe believes that Corey is wrong for speaking on Will that way without having any real evidence or proof behind him besides having hearsay while being involved in Hollywood. On the other end, the Terrence Howard situation came up with him speaking on Diddy, and Joe feels a little different about that, seeing as Diddy has allegations hanging over his head. The Joe Budden podcast crew got into a heated debate about this subject. This is what they had to say about it right here.
That's my thing. Like, for you to just be... for you to be at liberty to sit in an interview and just talk about niggas however you feel like it.
Some niggas don't give a about none of that.
I know, but at some point,
some niggas do though.
Then my question's valid. Then my question is valid.
Yo, I think niggas get selective, honestly.
That's true.
I think niggas get selective.
I think it's just a bunch of weirdo niggas on the
And I think everybody has the right to say, yo, that's corny. I don't agree with that. I never want to...
Quincy Jones was corny for doing that.
And I agree. So I want to say...
It was funny, but it was corny.
But
My
see,
nigga, you a rat.
Facts.
It's funny
Facts.
to you.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
It might not be funny to the
Before
family.
Quincy Jones
When
died.
Quincy Jones started telling about who f***ed who and all that other, you a rat. You a snitch.
Oh no, I'm talking about a lot of gay.
Now it's not. But it's not because the person that is attached to
That you respect.
It's not true. You keep saying that, but that's not true. How we joke about age? Oh, you 50 years old. Shit just comes with you being 50. There's a thing with senior citizens where because you 75 and 85,
You just gonna say
start
whatever the
telling shit like it is, and your tomorrows are lesser than your yesterdays, so you just get it off. And young people, you gotta understand that. Old people, there's a thing. Old people don't give a.
They don't.
I don't think that old people stigma applies to Corey Holcomb, and that don't mean I'm selective.
You feel the same way about Patti LaBelle when she out of Luther?
To Imani's
Do you
point,
feel the
Patti
same way about
LaBelle's
Patti
old.
LaBelle when it came to Luther?
I didn't know that it was an uproar. I learned that here with y'all. I didn't see nothing wrong. Y'all taught me.
He stood down on that point when he found out that. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
He stood down on that point once he realized the dynamics. But just to not keep it just on Corey Holcomb, I mean, we're watching. Oh, and actually, you want to say something? I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm looking at Terrence Howard do something very similar.
All of that shit.
with the Diddy right now.
All of that shit. To me,
Wait, how is that similar?
Another example of Diddy didn't do shit to him.
True.
Even if I believe everything Terrence Howard said, and I do, he said Diddy might have tried to hit.
It's an assumption.
Wait, what?
It's his assumption of what he think Diddy was planning to do with him. Nothing ever happened.
It is. They are both.
The same way Corey is assuming to be blackballed in the business because of whatever.
Are
Terrence
y'all
Howard.
playing?
No, nigga, we're not playing.
Joe, Terrence Howard.
Y'all are dead ass.
Yes,
I'm saying
Joe.
both are like dry.
They in
Both
the
you
same-
snitching on people for no reason.
Okay, slow down for a second.
They're in the same vein.
I disagree. y'all know this about me already. I don't think nobody should be outed. Y'all know that. So I don't have to qualify with that.
Right.
So, of course, I think Terrence Howard outing anybody is corny.
Okay.
Outing is corny. That to the side. I don't view that the same as, one of these people has been in the news for sex crimes for years. Now, we're going... One person smacked somebody. There's been rumors for years, but I'm not in the news for sex crimes.
It's even more of a responsibility not to speak on something like that when you don't know what really happened. And nothing never happened to you.
If somebody is in the news for sex crimes,
so what, Joe?
I don't think it's going to... Let me land. Okay. I don't think it's so uncommon for somebody to be in an interview and say, that tracks. This was my experience when I went over there. I don't think that's the same as Corey Holcomb saying, I'm not getting gigs.
Here's why it doesn't track.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Get the out of here.
Isn't this the same thing as what Cat Williams said in that interview with in Club Shay Shay?
Yeah. What is the difference?
There's no difference, and everybody celebrated him for that. Like,
no, they didn't celebrate Cat for that. Niggas,
they acted like everything he said was Bible verse and
to your response to that and to what Joe said. To me, here's the issue with that. Diddy's accused of sex crimes. Being gay is not a sex crime. Part of the problem with the Diddy whole ordeal is that people are mixing the two things, and a lot of the people are using homophobia as an excuse to criminalize Diddy. Whatever Diddy did to men or women, it's f***ed up if it's not consensual. It's not f***ed up because they were men.
I'm not gonna let you do that.
But just let me land.
Let him go.
But it's not fair what he's doing.
No, he's right.
I have to jump in there.
No, he's right.
Well,
he's right. Go ahead.
No, just hear this thought. So all I'm saying is, if Terrence Howard said, you know what? Diddy, I was asleep one time and Diddy did slip something in my drink, or Diddy, then it's part of the conversation because now you have a suspicion that tracks. But Diddy trying to f him doesn't
Diddy
track.
being gay does not track to the issue.
Take it a step further. Diddy never tried to f him per se. He said, I was talking to the nigga's assistant and I asked his assistant,
his own assistant,
why did he say all these things? Right. And the assistant said, he's probably trying to f.
It wasn't even Diddy's assistant, it was Terrence's assistant.
Puff never hollered at that nigga individually and say, yo, what's up, my nigga? I'm trying to see you tonight, XYZ.
This is the wrong time to start.
So for you to get on a big-ass platform while somebody's fighting for their life and say that this nigga tried to f me to demoralize them when you don't know he tried to f you at all.
But even if he did, that's not the same.
That's not the problem. That's not what he's on track for.
That's a whole separate point.
Y'all are wrong again. Y'all
tell us why.
Again. Come on, let's go through it. People in hindsight, this is in hindsight, are saying, after reading some of the stories of, this is how you were getting these sex crimes off. People in hindsight are going back to say, hey, maybe I was drugged. Maybe I had something while in his presence that enabled my ability to make a correct decision. Are y'all clear on that?
But Terrence isn't saying that.
That's not Terrence's experience.
Are y'all clear on that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did you see the Terrence?
Yeah.
To me, it sounded like courtship. It sounded like a guy being offered things under the guise of what was it? Acting or whatever you hear.
I want to be my acting coach.
But in that, you're being offered things. Mark, stop. You've had podcasters come out and say, "Yo, I went over there. I was offered a glass of wine or some water, and it hit me."
What I want to say is this. Terrence Howard went up there. He never spoke about feeling like he was put in an uncomfortable situation. He actually felt like his time was wasted. The man did nothing but look in the sky and then ask him about helping him to do stuff. He never made a move. He never propositioned in any way. He never asked him about his sexuality. That's not the same.
That wasn't his understanding. There was, you're not making a move.
Okay, his understanding is because Puff didn't make a move.
Yes.
Now in that moment. Now in hindsight, he felt like he did.
No. In hindsight, the assistant came and said and put that in his brain.
That was the close to his great story, but clearly he agreed.
But Joe, you can't.
He didn't tell
But you can't.
But come on, let's get back into this.
Yeah,
we're still going.
But he'll cut it out. But he gave a reason, right? Why Terrence gave a reason why he told the story, and it wasn't. I think Puff might have been onto some sexual predation. He was talking about preserving your manhood in Hollywood.
That's what the conversation.
He was talking about saying that don't give up your manhood because once you give that up, you can't get it back.
Very similar to what Corey is speaking to in certain ways.
That's why I'm saying they connected.
Terrence is just having a conversation in a way more educated, thoughtful way. 100%. But it's the same conversation to a certain degree.
Bro,
I'm not arguing with y'all.
I don't like the fact that Joe brought up the drugging part, right? Because that had nothing to do with Terrence's story.
Right.
We're introducing that over here when it's not applicable. Terrence Howard said he went out to meet Puff. Puff didn't talk no business.
I hate when you do what you're doing right now. Because you black and white.
Well, he's explaining what he.
I know, but
we conflating two situations
I didn't hear the
that
story. I
have
want to hear
no.
what he.
If Puff Daddy,
Joe, let me talk. You talk mad long, right?
Please.
Joe said that we've heard stories of Puff putting something in somebody's drink or drugging them or whatever the case may be. Terrence Howard's story was Puff hit him up, said, "Yo, I want to get some acting lessons." He go out there, he meet with Puff.
He go out where?
To meet Puff.
At his
Where?
house.
I don't know where the
To his
house
crib.
is.
He went to his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he asked him to play music.
Look.
Nothing to do with acting.
He ain't
Where,
say nothing.
and where was that?
At his,
And where was that?
At his own.
house.
at his crib.
We didn't go to a studio. We didn't go to some acting class to teach me. I'm at your. All right, forget it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Boom. I go meet
This
him.
shit is casual like that in LA though. Sorry. But
I go meet him. He don't talk nothing about acting. So now I'm like, what the f are we doing here? Right? Cool. They go meet him again. Nothing. So Terrence Howard said, yo, he driving in the car with his assistant, and he like, yo, what the f is this nigga doing? Like, he wasting my time. And the assistant said, yo, he probably wanted to fuck you. That was the extent of the story.
Right.
It wasn't nothing about no drugs. It wasn't nothing about Puff made a pass at him. It wasn't nothing like Puff
We got
grabbed
that.
him
So
or
no
broke
sexual
them
assault.
or anything of the sort.
So lucky for this room, we have me to add context. In the event that you went to Puff's house, do you think he wouldn't offer you a beverage?
Like what kind of beverage? Like a
Any
regular beverage
any
or
beverage.
Of course he's gonna
Bill
order.
Cosby?
Of course.
I don't even see what we're debating right now. So if you think that, then it is a normal thought in hindsight to say about someone who has been drugging people through beverage and how whatever means, hey, something might have been funny that day. I think that's a normal thought. That's all I'm
That is
saying.
right, but here's
That's
the thing. Still a very weird
That's a
assumption.
very normal
But
thought.
that's still a very
here's
vast,
the connection.
different assumption to make.
That's
come
a
on.
steep
But
thought.
here's the connection,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
If Terrence
very
Howard
steep
had that thought, he didn't share that thought. Just like if he thought that Will Smith was blocking him, he didn't share that thought.
right.
In both cases, you're giving people drive-bys without the connected dots. If you actually think that the person did some that's consistent with the thing you're saying,
Just say that.
then you got to say that or don't say it at all.
So what do y'all think about what Joe Budden had to say? Let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe to the GMS show. I'll see y'all later.